I always advise students that the worst thesis that you can write is a thesis that will only benefit people in the university, which means that that thesis can only be understood by people in the university. That becomes a thesis that is awesome.
For this short session, I'll do something on what we call a university as an academic discourse community. When you understand this, and if you look back at what you did in Rwanda, all the places where you go to, you realize that academic writing is very important, right? Let me explain why. Masara just talked to us a little bit about what she learned in Rwanda. That's academics. You learn about innovations and you share the same innovations, right?
My name is Dr. Kisembe from the Department of Linguistics and Foreign Languages at Moi University School of Arts. I recall sometime last year I was approached by the secretary of the department who indicated to me that there were students from Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, Ethiopia who had issues with English as a language, and yet they had been enrolled as students, postgraduate students specifically, to the School of Engineering. So I told her I can do the job to help them because it's something that I did in my PhD, specializing in teaching English as a second language. So I did an assessment test for them first to figure out their level of comprehension, and I realized that we were going to start from scratch.
So when we're looking at academic writing, and you start with your proposal, first you give what they call a concept note to just share with your supervisors what you intend to do for your project work. And then it goes to a proposal where you develop and tell us, this is my area of research, this is what I know about this area of research, this is what I want to do for my research, because I realize that what is known, there is an issue about it. And so that becomes an identified gap that you use to identify things.
So I designed a curriculum that enabled us to sit in class for a minimum of 20 hours in a week. And that meant that from Monday to Friday, and sometimes we actually had to come to class on Saturday in town, we had to do 2 hours of sit-in classes, and then also had to do 2 hours of their practical that was supposed to help them, learn how to speak and relate to others.
This is Masara Muhammad from Sudan. I'm doing the MSc in textile engineering. I got this scholarship SCE2 that sponsor me. I want to appreciate Dr. Aline to help me to get English and improve my skill in English.
When we were learning about the vocabulary development, I took them into the grocery store, and we had lots of interactions between their cultures in their various countries, what they ate, what they did, what they dressed, and I shared with them what we also do here in Kenya. It was a pretty interesting one. And you see, the reason I loved that was they were able to learn as much vocabulary as they could, because there were lots of stuff, especially foods, they couldn't even figure out what the name of the food was. But during the interaction, they learned something. So I handled mostly the theoretical part in class, and then I used my graduate students from the Department of Linguistics to function as conversation partners. Now, a conversation partner is someone who helps the students to communicate in English. That helps us to model what we call an immersion program, where students are surrounded not only by English speakers in class, but the students also surrounded by English speakers at home. And I believe that my students really did pretty much well, because they used to have probably a minimum of 1 hour, maximum 2 hours every day communicating with the students. Now, the second aspect, apart from the grammar comprehension and writing, had to focus on academic writing. Now, academic writing was important because as graduate students, they are required to write a thesis that is supposed to be shared to the academic community. Now, in that course, I ran them through the conventions of academic writing and how they can write in such a manner that their thesis or their work is not only seen as significant to the academic community, but it's also significant to the community in which they hope to serve.
So I would like to ask you to tell us what is the rules exactly used in writing proposals in THUE University.
Okay, for the proposal, those ones are many, so we'll take them one by one. But before you even go to the proposal one, let's take a simple one, an abstract. Right? An abstract is a summary that answers 4 questions. Rania, you remember them?
What the topic is about.
What is your work about? What's your topic about?
How can you do that?
How are you going to find out what you're doing?
Why?
Why are you doing what you're doing?
What's the result?
And what are the implications?
And that to me was quite fulfilling. The students were good, they were ready to learn, and I know that pretty much more they will be able to help other students who may come into the program that may have language related issues.